Good evening, everybody, and welcome in once again to the gymnasium here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. This is Tim Coet on the call, getting close now to the end of this winter sports regular season, and tonight we are back to coverage of this Milford varsity girls basketball team as the Scarlet Hawks welcome in one of their Kelley-Rex division rivals in the North Attleboro Rocketeers. Excited to get this one underway, the first of a pair of girls basketball games live streaming here on Milford TV this week. So quickly we welcome in all of our viewers tuning into this coverage live. If you're checking us out on our YouTube live stream, happy to have you with us. Whether you're a fan of Milford or North Attleboro, happy to have you aboard. The tip-off underway, and that ball's going to sneak out of play right off the opening tip. Your starting fives for tonight's game for North Attleboro, it is Ava McKeon, Sam Sweeney, Mary Ellen Charette, Katie Corsetti, and Ella McLaughlin. North Attleboro controlling after a second try at the opening tip. And we'll get a shot from just inside the three-point line that rims out for Sam Sweeney. Milford eventually controlling the defensive rebound and then sending that ball out of play. The starting five for the Scarlet Hawks is Eliza Syed, Maeve Driscoll, Kay Pellegrini, Brooke Ferreira, and Erin Mickelson. Great to see Kay Pellegrini in the starting lineup here tonight. We've seen her getting some pretty regular reps at the JV level as she continues to get back to full strength post-injury. And getting the starting nod for this game here tonight. Milford playing a little undermanned here tonight as they will be without the services of one of their captains. Emily Croto out of the mix for the next couple of games, we think, with illness. No injuries to report for Emily, so we look forward to having her get back into the lineup as soon as possible. She's had a great couple of games recently for the Scarlet Hawks. In particular, her three-point shooting has really been a factor in the girls' offense, so unfortunate that she'll be out of service for this game here tonight. But the rest of the team looking to pick up the slack in a game that Milford really wants to have in their favor. Milford comes into the matchup here tonight off of a three-game losing streak, most recently a loss to the Attleboro Bombardiers at the end of last week. Meanwhile, free throws will get us started on the score sheet here tonight with North Attleboro at the line after the foul was committed by Kay Pellegrini. And 2 for 2 from the line for Katie Corsetti. That gives North Attleboro the first lead of the night, and North Attleboro, like other teams we've seen come in here recently, putting that full court press on. Milford able to break it, getting a good look for Maeve Driscoll under the basket. Can't make the shot. Now Ferreira from three. That is off target. And the rebound this time controlled by Ava McKeon. McKeon wearing that face shield as she kicks this one back out for a three-point look for North. That's going to rattle around. It does not go down, but a good effort on the rebound for Sam Sweeney. And she picks up the second chance points. A 4-0 start to the night here for the Rocketeers. Different looking starting five for Milford here tonight for a couple of these positions. We see Maeve Driscoll also inserted into the starting lineup here tonight. Driscoll getting a screen from Eliza Syed, kicking this one out for Pellegrini. 6 seconds on the shot clock as North Attleboro takes it away. Syed getting back defensively, but now commits the foul. So that's 2 early team fouls now on the Scarlet Hawks. A make and a miss for Ella McLaughlin. 5-0 score now in favor of North Attleboro. 42 to go in this first quarter as Syed goes to the basket. She's going to pick up the foul. And now we'll see free throws on the Scarlet Hawks side. The foul going against McLaughlin. Second shot going through for Syed. Going 2 for 2 at the line to pull Milford to within a 5-2 score here. Still early going in this first quarter. Less than 5.5 minutes remaining in the opening period. As that ball squirts in and out of the hands of Sweeney. She recovers. Now Ferreira and Driscoll out on the perimeter defense. Pellegrini getting into the act as now this ball comes down low. Partially blocked on the way up by Milford. Good rebounding here early on for the Rocketeers. That time, Milford commits the foul after the rebound was pulled down, and Sweeney will head to the free throw line. So already now 3 different players to the line for North Attleboro within these first 3 minutes. And meanwhile, Coach Dolliver is going to bring the freshman phenom Caitlin Kernan into the game, replacing Maeve Driscoll. A pair of successful free throws for Sweeney, so it's been a good start to the night free throw shooting for North Attleboro as they have made 5 out of 6. 6 of their 7 points coming from the free throw line to give the Rocketeers an early 7-2 lead as timeout is called on the floor with 5:08 to play in this first quarter. So as we mentioned, the Scarlet Hawks come in on a 3-game losing streak. When last we covered this team, they were in their first back-to-back win situation of the season, coming off of victories against Stoughton and Collegiate Charter. But since then, it's been losses to Franklin here at home and then road losses to Oliver Ames and Attleboro. None of those losses particularly close, so Milford's offense looking to try to crank things up. Looking at the way things unfolded in that loss against Attleboro on Friday of last week, Milford kept it competitive in the first quarter, as we have seen a number of times this season, but it was that second quarter where Milford was held to very few points, allowing the Rocketeers to open up a hefty lead, and they continued to build on that lead in the second half. That has been an unfortunate pattern for the Milford girls this season. Coach Dolliver changing things up with the starting lineup here tonight. Now bringing Kernan in off the bench. Milford getting whistled for the offensive foul. That's going to go against Brooke Ferreira. And so already now 4 team fouls on the Scarlet Hawks. 4:57 to go. A bit of a choppy start to this first quarter. Kicked out to that far wing from 3. That's no good. And an impressive rebound pulled down by number 24, Mary Ellen Charette. And she will be rewarded with free throws as that foul goes on Eliza Syed. She has 2 fouls. And it is the fouls that are piling up here for Milford in this opening stretch of the game. Katrina Ledger now perched at the scorer's table waiting to check in, likely to replace Syed. North keeps doing their job at the free throw line. It has been 4 different shooters at the line through this first quarter now for North. And now a 9-2 lead. And again, 7 of those 9 points now have come from the free throw line. Erin Mickelson able to get that inbounds pass into Olivia Baglione now into the game. That pass in dangerous territory. And a nice job by Caitlin Kernan to close in. And meanwhile, the foul committed at the end of the play by North Attleboro. Foul going on Sam Faria. Baglione now dishes this pass. It's pulled down by Pellegrini. And now a tough pass down low to Mickelson. Ledger now. Milford swinging around the perimeter as there's still plenty of time on the shot clock. Up top now to Kernan. She'll drive inside. Her shot is short. And the rebound is grabbed by Corsetti. Milford has not made a basket from the floor so far in this quarter. Pellegrini, meanwhile, pulls down a defensive board. And now the pass finds Mickelson with 3:51 now in this first quarter. Down low, Baglione under the basket. She gets hemmed in. And now Kernan takes that pass, got some contact up high. And so now the foul's starting to even out as North Attleboro now has 4 team fouls. That was the second foul called on Faria. Ledger finding Kernan, and now down low to Mickelson. Ledger now, high bank, and that ball's going to go the other way. They say that it kicked apparently off the back of the backboard. It looked like it was still playable, but the officials say otherwise, and Coach Dolliver with a bit of a protest with a smile on his face as he does so to the officials down at the other end. 3:20 now in this first quarter. Underneath the basket, nice pass, nice finish for Sweeney. She has the only points from the floor so far tonight. Milford looking for a quick response as Pellegrini attacks the basket, and she will now head to the line. One out of 2 on that trip to the line for Pellegrini. That shot off target for Charette. Goes out of play. It will be Milford ball. North Attleboro 11, Milford 3. It's been a free throw fest here through the first quarter. And now a steal here. This ball coming back the other way with Sweeney, and a turnover here for the Rocketeers. Brooke Ferreira going to check back into this game now. She replaces Erin Mickelson. Mary Ellen Charette to the sideline as she picks up her second foul. 2:28 now left in the first quarter. Baglione bounces off of contact. Trying a little give and go with Caitlin Kernan, but that pass offline goes out of play, and Milford still in search of their first basket. And now Kernan getting her nose in there, blocking up for the jump ball. Possession arrow pointing Milford's way. Pellegrini now to the sideline as Driscoll comes back in. 2:06 in the first. Baglione's pass is deflected. Kean attacking the basket, and she will head to the free throw line. A quarter that has seen all but 4 points so far come from the free throw line. Team fouls at 6 apiece. McKeon drops that one in. This has been excellent free throw shooting for the Rocketeers. Just their second miss from the line, despite now having 5 different shooters at the line in this quarter. Kernan with a bad pass pays the price as this ball comes back the other way and is put in courtesy of Katie Corsetti. And North Attleboro now opens up an 11-point lead as we tick down to the final 90 seconds of the first quarter. Kernan in some trouble, finds Ledger. Ledger gets fouled. Looks like that's going to go on Corsetti. First foul on Katie Corsetti. More mixing and matching for Coach Dolliver as Kernan is out. Mickelson back in, and we will get a timeout with exactly 1 minute and 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. We'll take a quick pause on the broadcast as well. We'll keep this first quarter going when we come back next here on Milford TV. Free throws coming up for Katrina Ledger with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. Has not been the best pace to the start of this game. Ledger misses in the 1-and-1. But another whistle quickly comes. This one as the ball goes out of play. Bench activated now for the Rocketeers as that ball is kicked out for 3. More good rebounding for the Rocketeers, but Milford able to hold strong under the basket. This will take us down to the final minute. Outside for a look from 3-point territory for Maeve Driscoll. That ball short, but Ferreira's there for the offensive rebound. And now Mickelson wanting to try her luck from the top of the key. Now dribbles around towards the far wing. And now Baglione into traffic, gets locked up with Ava McKeon, and this time the ball will go to the Rocketeers. So another trip up the floor with no points for Milford. Again, no points from the floor for Milford in this quarter, down to 39.6 seconds. Getting the chance to inbound here after the whistle, and that pass blocked. North Attleboro up the floor in transition all the way to the basket. The shot misses, but then put in by Brever. Up to 16 points now for North. Milford now trying to push the tempo. And Ferreira free for a look from 3-point territory. Comes inside and gets that shot blocked. Ferreira not wanting to pull the trigger there from 3-point range. Now the ball loose. It's picked up eventually by Ferreira. Nothing Milford can do as the final seconds tick down in a first quarter that was not pretty in terms of offense. But North Attleboro able to emerge with an early 16-3 lead. So Milford trying to work out the bugs here in the early going. We'll take another quick timeout here on the coverage. We'll be back with the second quarter when we return next on this coverage of Scarlet Hawks Athletics on Milford TV. ready to start the second quarter here in Milford with the Scarlet Hawks trailing by a score of 16-3. Tim Coet here on the call. For Scarlet Hawks athletics coverage here on Milford TV. Milford hoping to reset things here in this second quarter after scoring 3 points, all of them from the free throw line over the first 8 minutes. Nicholson able to advance this ball for Milford, now slinging it over to Jordan Douglas in the game here in the second quarter off the bench. Now Driscoll looked like she was trying to draw the foul there, tossed up an awkward shot. North Attleboro comes the other way and guns a pass too hot under the basket. Possession back to Milford. And more pressure in the backcourt applied by the Rocketeers. North Attleboro was able to end an extended losing streak their last time out, and there, meanwhile, is Mickelson, who drops in Milford's first points from the floor in this half, cutting the deficit down to 11. Another foul here as Milford is called for their 7th team foul. Team fouls tied at 7 apiece. Katrina Ledger called for that foul, now to the sideline as Kay Pellegrini checks back in. More free throws for Ava McKeon. Misses. Mickelson with the rebound. Bounce pass entry to Pellegrini, now back up top for Ferreira. Kay now finds Ferreira once again. Shot clock winding down here. Pellegrini gets it up top. Now finds Douglas. Shot clock almost gone. And Milford's not going to get the shot away. They take the shot clock violation. Outstanding defense for the Rocketeers. Coach Dolliver continues to mix and match. We see Jamari Downing check into the game. Played a role in the junior varsity team's victory earlier this evening. Also saw Kay Pellegrini log some minutes in that game, Ava Baglione as well. Shot off target for North. Ball kicks out of play. It will stay with the Rocketeers. Down to 6:03 to play in this first half. Now a jump ball called for. Possession for the Scarlet Hawks. Tricky pass for Mickelson. Able to dribble out of trouble. And now Downing to Ferreira for 3. Good looking shot, doesn't go. Milford in a scrum for the rebound. It kicks out to Downing. Milford can reset. Downing trying a little touch shot there that was well short of the basket. And now Milford clogging things up in the backcourt. Another chance for Downing. Doesn't make the basket, but she will head to the line. Foul called on Ava McKeon, her second foul of the game. Very friendly bounce off the back of the rim for Downing on that first shot. Chance to pull the deficit down to single digits. Downing goes 2 for 2. So it's now a 16-7 score. North Attleboro up the floor with some pace. Wins the battle for that loose ball. Ferreira, good job getting out on the perimeter defensively. Eventually North Attleboro did get a shot away, but off target. And now Downing up ahead. And a whistle stopping the clock with 5:01, and a conversation here now with one of the officials, and North Attleboro head coach Nikki Correa also pulling Ava McKeon over as well. So unclear what that was all about. McKeon stays out there. Milford now inbounding in front of the scorer's table. Bizarre situation there. 25 seconds on the shot clock. Less than 5 minutes now to go in the half. Pellegrini out to set a screen. Downing now gives way to Ferreira. Ferreira weighing her options as the shot clock winds down. The shot is offline. Rebound controlled by McKeon. McKeon, good bounce pass entry down low. That was well executed. Sweeney finishes it off on the back end. Good court vision as North reestablishes a double-digit lead. Down low to Ferreira. She gets inside, gets contact. Clock paused at 4:09 as we'll see free throws here for Ferreira after the foul was called on Brever. So Milford has shot 7 of 9 from the free throw line so far in this half. It's helped keep them within striking distance despite making just one basket through the half. Ferreira, quick hands, pulls off the steal, and now gets bumped up ahead by McLaughlin, and she'll head right back to the line as North Attleboro is in the double bonus, or Milford is in the double bonus, I should say. Ferreira, 1 out of 2 on that trip. The lead for North Attleboro is 8. North loose for a shot. That is no good. Pellegrini, another defensive rebound. 3:42 to go in the half. Kernan back into the game. She feeds Downing down low. Ferreira sees a lane to the basket, takes it, and comes away with 2 points. And it's down to a 2-possession game now with 3:23 to go in the half. Out of the corner now for McKeon, and Driscoll is going to get called for the foul. That's 2 fouls now on Maeve. McKeon 1 for 4 from the line in the half. Kernan splits a double team in the backcourt. Gets Milford up ahead with the numbers advantage. Leads to an open look for Downing from 3-point territory. Can't make the shot. Now bodies flying the other way as McLaughlin came ahead. She will go to the line. Lisa Syed going to check back in here with couple of ticks under 3 minutes to go. Miss at the line for McLaughlin. Now Milford with an opportunity to chip further into this lead. Tough pass for Ferreira. Tries to get there, but McKeon is there as well for the jump ball, and North Attleboro will take over. Been an active rotation here for Coach Dolliver as he pulls Kernan back to the bench. But we got a timeout called on the floor that stops the clock with 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go. So we mentioned it a few minutes ago. North Attleboro was able to come away with a much-needed victory their last game out last Friday on the road in Taunton. They escaped with a 65-61 victory. That ended up putting an end to a 6-game losing streak for North Attleboro. That started on January 13th. Losses to Franklin, Oliver Ames, KP, Foxborough, their rivals from Attleboro, and also the Sharon Eagles within that time span. Overall on the season, North Attleboro at 4-12. They are tied for 4th place in the Kelley-Rex standings with the Taunton Tigers. Milford right now sitting at 4-11 overall on the season, in 6th place position in the Kelley-Rex standings. This is the second meeting on the season for these two schools. They last met in North Attleboro on January 6th, where the Rocketeers were able to walk away with a 43-29 win. It's been a pretty close contest here so far. Milford tightening things up over the course of the second quarter. It's been a 9-2 second quarter in Milford's favor as Mickelson gets swarmed underneath the basket, and eventually the foul comes. The foul called on Mary Ellen Charette, who now has 3 fouls. Misses at the line that time for Mickelson. Milford's going to have a chance to inbound here as that ball goes out of play. 2:31 to go in the half. Inbounds pass to Mickelson. Ferreira open on the wing, comes inside, and that one will not go down. Spent eternity up there on the rim and does not land, but Milford keeps the possession alive, and a three-pointer is knocked down by Aliza Syed, so Milford will take that in the exchange. And that pulls Milford to within 3 points now as we close in on the final 2 minutes of this half. Milford going up for a block, and instead the officials call the foul. So these whistles have been out all half. That looked to be a pretty good block down low for Milford, but instead it's going to go as a foul. Looks like they'll call it on Mickelson, her first. Katie Corsetti back to the line. One out of 2 for Corsetti. And a foul on that scrum for the rebound. The fouls have really dragged out the pace of this half. Still 1 minute and 57 seconds to go. A ton of trips to the free throw line. But a chance for Mickelson here to pull Milford close. Mickelson, a better looking shot that time, but could not get it to go. 2 more misses, but meanwhile that ball goes out of play and Milford will have the chance to inbound with 1:54 to go. Downing now waiting for the screen. Now releases a high floating shot. That one doesn't go. Kernan able to grab the rebound, puts it back up and gets fouled. This is Kernan's first trip to the line in the half. Milford has now had 7 different shooters get to the line. And unfortunately running into a stretch of misses here as Milford's been given the opportunity to really get back into this game or take the lead, but unfortunately they have missed their last 5 straight free throws. Kernan able to make that one. So it's back down to a 3-point margin. Miss for North, the clean rebound pulled down by Downing. Ferreira floating that pass into Mickelson. Mickelson out to Downing now. Coach Dolliver frustrated with the lack of movement out there on the floor as Mickelson tosses up a tough shot. And now the ball loose. Milford is there, but a foul comes in. Going to be free throws the other way as Kernan gets called for her first foul, and probably hard pressed to find a player on the floor at this point that hasn't picked up at least 1 foul in this half. It's Ella McLaughlin at the line. Shot 1 out of 4 so far. 1 out of 5. Kernan with the rebounds. She breaks free up the near sideline, takes it all the way to the basket. The shot won't go, grabs her own rebound, and now able to kick it back outside. Good effort there for Kernan. Now it's Syed. That pass is tipped. Goes out of play. Will stay with Milford with 28 seconds on the shot clock. 54.5 seconds to go in the half. Now the ball loose, picked up by Corsetti. Milford gets back defensively. That shot rims out for Corsetti. Down to 40 seconds to go in the half as Mickelson pulls that pass down. Up top, wide open look for Syed. She can't knock it down. And the rebound tipped, eventually secured by Kernan. Now Ferreira driving inside, able to regain the dribble now. 19 seconds to go as that ball is given away. Now 15 seconds for North Attleboro to get up for the final shot of the half. Off the near wing, the shot tossed up by McLaughlin is no good. 1 second left, and Milford is going to let the time expire. And so these teams are going to go to the locker room with the score now 19-16. North Attleboro able to maintain the lead despite scoring just 3 points in that half. They were outscored 13-3, so a better looking half for the Scarlet Hawks, but fouls really the story of that first half. A lot of whistles. Not a chance to see this game get into a real rhythm. We'll see if that can change for the second half. So we will pause here for the halftime period. 9.5 minutes remaining on the clock here during this intermission. So if you're joining us on our live stream, hang tight. We'll be back with second half coverage in just a few minutes as you enjoy coverage of Milford High School girls basketball here on Milford TV. Welcome back in as we get the second half started in this varsity girls basketball matchup between Milford and North Attleboro. Tim Coet here bringing you the coverage once again. A 19-16 score. North Attleboro with the lead as we get the second half started, and hoping for a little bit of a steadier pace to the second half. Fouls the name of the game in the first half. And meanwhile, North Attleboro is able to jump on the scoreboard first here in the second half. Sam Sweeney knocking down that shot. Almost mirror images for these two teams in the first quarter and the second quarter. It was North Attleboro outscoring Milford 16-3 in the first half. Then it was Milford outscoring North Attleboro 13-3 in the second 8 minutes. So things have tightened up on the scoreboard. That shot put up by North Attleboro offline. Pellegrini, another rebound. She's been good down low throughout this game, has gotten a lot of playing time tonight. Again, if you're just joining us, Milford playing without the services of usual starter and senior captain Emily Croto. Miss for North, but they're able to control the rebound, kicking it back out for three, and now there is Pellegrini yet again. Already a couple of rebounds through the first couple of minutes. Now Syed, good looking shot is no good. That rebound directed out. I believe Syed is going to get whistled for a foul on the back end of that play, going for the rebound. It's her third foul, and she'll be forced back to the bench. Katrina Ledger gets into this game. 6:13 to go here in the third quarter. A one-possession lead for the Rocketeers as North is called for the travel. Now the ball loose. North comes away. Up for the shot. Count it for Sweeney. She led all scorers with 8 points in the first half. Now has 4 here in the third quarter. Pellegrini finding Driscoll. Now it's Ferreira. Had time. Doesn't take the shot. And now Ledger goes down hard. A little slow to get to her feet. North Attleboro with the numbers advantage up the floor. The shot from McKeon is offline. And now this ball floated ahead to Ledger. Banks it off the glass and in. Katrina gets her first points of the night moments after going down hard. Right back down to that 3-point margin. Milford has not held a lead at any point in the game so far. Whistle going against Sam Sweeney, her first foul of the game. North Attleboro putting pressure on in the backcourt. This ball ahead to Ledger. She slices through a double team and goes to the basket. Nice look there for Ledger. Good aggressive move. And Milford has pulled to within 1. Open look on the near side. Now floated up looking for contact for McKeon, but no foul this time. Now it's Driscoll. Kernan a little out of control. She gets called for the travel. Kernan hasn't quite been able to settle in to this game tonight. She has just 1 point from the free throw line. Elisa Syed and Brooke Ferreira leading the Milford offense in the first half. They both had 5 points. Contested look from 3-point territory is not close. Kernan easily secures the rebound. Now pulls up, trying to find Aaron Mickelson with the pass, but it was easily picked off, and now that shot is put in by Corsetti. And now Ferreira getting this ball ahead, trying to find Ledger. It's another turnover generated by North Attleboro. And now a foul committed, at the end of the play for Kernan, who immediately turns and heads back to the sideline. And Coach Dolliver with a reassuring pat on the head to the freshman, who has really not been able to get into the flow of the game tonight. Again, it's been a real quick rotation when she's been on the floor. Ledger out defensively to contest that shot. And the rebound pulled down by McKeon. She'll end up going to the free throw line. The Milford fans providing some energy here in this third quarter. 3:31 to go. That foul was called on Olivia Baglione. Meanwhile, Ava Baglione will check into the game for the first time. She'll replace Driscoll. One for two at the line as this pass goes too far for Ledger to reach. Milford continuing to try to break the pass with these long outlet passes to Ledger. North Attleboro here will have a chance to inbound. 3:26 to play. Scoreboard differential at 4. Good defense again for Ledger, leads to the kick out for 3. And that time, North able to sneak underneath for the rebound and the putback for Mary-Ellen Charette. And it's North now going on a bit of a run. Baglione now will take her first shot of the night. She banks it in. Brings the score back down to 4. Ian directing traffic. Feeds it to Sweeney. A whistle for a foul, stopping the clock with 2:36 to go. This ball ends up in the backcourt and out of bounds by the Milford bench. The Scarlet Hawks will inbound there with 2:31 to go. Ferreira against Sweeney defensively, pass down low to Syed, leads to the three-point attempt for Ava Baglione. Offline and out of bounds. More substitutions coming in on the North Attleboro side as we tick down to 2:18 to go in the quarter. 28-24, North still holding on to the lead. Baglione trying for the steal. And Downing goes up for the block. She gets called for the foul, and again, just wondering where the foul was. A lot of confusion across the gym as seen quite a few of those kind of whistles tonight. Katie Corsetti shooting the free throws for North Attleboro, misses that second. Sweeney at the end of the play called for the foul, her second. Under 2 minutes now to go in the quarter. And that pass tricky for Baglione down low. They sling it back out. Syed waiting for it. Now it's Downing down low, puts it up off the glass. It's no good. Ferreira collects the rebound, turns around, shot offline. And now the defensive board for McKeon. And she's able to go all the way to the basket. And yet another foul is called for. Little conversation between the officials and Coach Correa before the free throws for McKeon. 3 fouls now on Olivia Baglione. Ferreira now up ahead. Open look for Syed for 3, count it. Second three-pointer in the game for Elisa Syed, and this pulls Milford to within 2 points as we approach the final minute of the quarter. Gets the Milford bench pumped up. Pellegrini, good positioning down low. Prevents the easy look. Now Baglione takes the ball up the floor with 55 seconds in the third quarter. A pass off target, but handled by Ferreira. A lot of contact there down low. No whistle this time. Now Pellegrini to the corner for Baglione. Olivia to Ava, and now up top for Pellegrini. Open for the shot. Banks it in. Back-to-back threes for the Scarlet Hawks. And Milford is going to take their first lead of the game at 30-29 with 25 seconds now remaining in the quarter. McKeon floats a shot up. It's no good. Pellegrini with another rebound, in some trouble. And Milford's going to get fouled. And meanwhile, Ella McLaughlin now a little slow to get back to her feet. Had a couple of Milford players ready and waiting to help her back to her feet. Gets up on her own accord. And so Milford will inbound with 17.2 seconds to go. Milford deploys Caitlin Kernan here for this final sequence. Guns it to the far side for Ferreira. Good bounce pass down low to Kernan. She finishes at the rim. And Milford with a good close to this quarter. And North Attleboro floating that shot up. It's offline. And so that will allow Milford to head into the fourth quarter with a 32-29 lead. So it took to within the closing seconds of that third quarter. But Milford, with their best quarter offensively so far. Good contributions from up and down the roster. Milford had 6 different scorers in that third period as they are able to pull ahead 32-29. Very quick timeout here on the coverage. Fourth quarter starts next here on Milford TV. Fourth quarter getting started here in Milford. The Scarlet Hawks now with the lead with 8 minutes left to go. Hasn't been the cleanest game at times here tonight, but Milford stepping things up there in that third quarter to pull ahead. Now back outside for Elisa Syed. Another wide open look from 3. This time She can't connect. North Attleboro pulls down the defensive rebound. The defense out on the perimeter for the Hawks. Charette able to get away from Syed. Now the ball loose. Pellegrini comes away. Ferreira slowing up the pace just a bit, letting things develop. Syed now has that ball knocked away. A little too casual there on that play. But meanwhile, Caitlin Kernan swoops in for the steal. Milford potentially with a numbers advantage up the floor, but they only needed one as Kernan takes it to the rack, gets two. And Milford ups the lead to 34-29. North looking to answer from three-point territory. That shot no good, but McKeon keeps the possession going for North. Now steps inside for the high percentage shot and is able to make it. Amazingly, that is Ava McKeon's first points from the floor in this game. She has been such a big part of this North Attleboro game plan here tonight. Free throws the other way here for North Attleboro. Kernan whistled for her third foul. Free throw off target for Sweeney. And now off balance shot for Brooke Ferreira, perhaps trying to draw the foul. And now wide open look from the corner. That rattles through for Sweeney. Back down to a 1-point differential. And Coach Dolliver, not liking what he was seeing out there, calls for the timeout. And the team will huddle up here. 5:48 to go in the game. Just a 1-point differential on the scoreboard. And looking at Milford's record overall on the season, 4 victories, a 2-10 record against Hockomock League competition so far on the season. Their Hockomock League victories came back on January 10th in a 50-44 win against the Canton Bulldogs, and then a couple of weeks ago, a very memorable game against the Stoughton Black Knights where Milford edged Stoughton 47-45. So trying to come away with their third league victory here tonight. They have a lead, but still a long way to go in this fourth quarter. It's been a nice build to the game for Milford, starting off very rough in the first quarter, only making a couple of shots from the free throw line. They were down 16-3 early. They were able to pull to within 3 at halftime. And then sneaking ahead right at the close of the third quarter. Trying to finish strong. Milford comes out of the timeout with Kernan, Ferreira, Mickelson, Syed, and Pellegrini, the 5 on the floor. Good pass down low to Mickelson, but that eludes her grasp. And North with a chance to retake the lead. And they do so courtesy of Sam Sweeney, who's made a couple of buckets in succession. And it's North back on top now, 35-34. Now that pass can't find Mickelson. It's Sweeney up ahead again. Pellegrini gets back defensively, presents the quality look. And now it's Kernan trying to go coast to coast. She throws that ball up, takes contact, and she is in some pain now on the floor. And the training staff out to check on Kernan. We will pause for an injury timeout here on Milford TV. set to resume now. Kernan able to get back to her feet and head to the sideline. Perhaps got the wind knocked out of her after she took a hard screen from North Attleboro. But looks to be all right to check back into this game shortly. Meanwhile, another big shot knocked down by the Rocketeers. And now North Attleboro back in front by 3. The North Attleboro fans in attendance now getting pumped up. Back outside, Ferreira passes up the 3-point shot. Ball goes out of play, and Milford turns it over. Corsetti dropping in that last shot for North. Milford's offense has gone quiet here over this last sequence, allowing North Attleboro to pull back in front. And now another big bucket knocked down, this time by Charette. And the lead now for North is up to 5. Driscoll now trying to answer from 3. That shot short. Driscoll gets it right back. Foul on North Attleboro. 4 team fouls for North, 9 for Milford. So Milford not in the bonus yet. Not really close. Trying to dry up a slick spot on the floor before we continue. 3:58 to go. Milford relinquishing the lead. Nice play off the inbounds pass. Nicholson puts it in. Milford needed those points. Back down to a 1-possession lead. Needing another good defensive stand. But instead, it is McKeon who gets free, all alone under the basket. She has 4 points in this fourth quarter. Corner, Ferreira, she stays out on the perimeter. Now floats it into Pellegrini. Back outside for Syed. That shot rattles around but doesn't go. Now North Attleboro pulls up for a quick look from 3-point territory. Syed with the defensive rebound, in some trouble in the corner. And Coach Dolliver has to call the timeout. It stops the clock with 3:03 to go. North Attleboro still with the 5-point advantage. We're getting right down to the end of it here in the regular season. An opportunity to cover 2 more home games this week for the girls. After we wrap this one up here tonight, we've got 1 more coming up on a Thursday this week, so a little bit different than our typical Tuesday-Friday routine. So we will have the Milford girls back in action here at home on Thursday against the Hopedale Blue Raiders. So we'll get a little non-conference girls basketball action here on Thursday, and that will be our final regular season coverage of this girls basketball team this season. They'll have 3 more games remaining on their schedule after that, but we'll have a couple of games to close out the season back with the boys. As we wind down this winter sports regular season, see how things ultimately unfold for these 2 basketball teams. But in the meantime, still a ways to go in this one. As the ball comes back in play, 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Milford trying to battle back once again, trailing 41-36, and unfortunately, Driscoll can't handle that pass. It goes out of play, and North Attleboro with a chance to inbound. This time Milford will apply some pressure, but before that, another timeout. So again, the best stretch for the Scarlet Hawks came in that third quarter, and perhaps not a surprise that that was also the quarter with the fewest fouls and the fewest stoppages in play. It's really the only chance in this game that we've had to really get a good, consistent pace of play out there on the court. Score remains North Attleboro 41, Milford 36. teams with very similar numbers overall on the season. North Attleboro comes in with a slight edge in points scored per game, averaging 38.1 to Milford's 36.2. Milford with a slight edge in their defensive numbers. Milford averaging 48.1 points allowed per game to North Attleboro's 52.7. So we expected this to be a close game. Didn't end up being all that close when these two teams met earlier in the season. 43-29, North Attleboro took that game, but it's been a much more competitive one here tonight. Milford trapping the ball handler to that near sideline, and Coach Correa was able to get the timeout in just in the nick of time. And so another break here in the action. We'll take a quick pause here on the broadcast. We'll have 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go when we come back next here on Milford TV. North Attleboro inbounding the basketball with 2:50 to play. Able to advance the ball this time into the hands of Sam Sweeney. Now it's Sweeney along with McKeon. But a turnover here taken away by Brooke Ferreira. And they'll call the foul on Mary Ellen Charette, and right in front of Coach Correa. She was hopping up and down, not happy with the call. 4 fouls now on Charette. Continuing the conversation with the officials. Driscoll accepting that pass, kicking it over towards Ferreira. Down to 2:20 to play. Ferreira will take the three. It's offline. Baglione there, and she puts it back. Olivia Baglione picking a good time for her first points of the game. Down to a 1-possession lead for the Rocketeers as we tick down to the final 2 minutes of regulation. And Milford forces another turnover. Kernan getting her nose in there. Now Kernan tossing up a shot, and not necessarily the best look for Milford on that possession, but helped out by another turnover. Milford still in this game. That ball just barely getting in the hands of Ferreira. Another shot put up by Kernan. And Milford fights for the offensive rebound. Now Kernan through traffic tosses up another tough angle shot. And that's another miss. This time the rebound for North Attleboro. Up ahead for a quick shot. It's no good. And now Milford commits the foul as Baglione perhaps, let's see ultimately who the foul was called on. I thought initially it was going to be Baglione. Indeed, 4 fouls now for Olivia. And pressure free throws now for Katie Corsetti. Very calmly makes the first. She's made 5 out of 7 free throws so far tonight, so she has been reliable from this situation. Goes 2 for 2. Back up to a 5-point North Attleboro lead. Milford needing to come away with points here, but instead that ball skips off the hands, and North Attleboro secures the turnover. Milford needs a stop as we dip under 60 seconds to go. Out on the perimeter. Sweeney now back to McKeon. 9 seconds on the shot clock. 43 seconds to go in the game as McKeon goes to the basket and gets what might very likely be the dagger here in this fourth quarter to put North up 45-38. Ferreira now drives inside. She picks up a quick 2. Back down to a 5-point margin, but now with just 30.7 seconds to go. So not a lot of options here for Milford at this point. The shot clock turned off the rest of the way. So it's been a good evenly matched battle here. North Attleboro held the lead through halftime, through the closing seconds of the third quarter. Milford was able to pull ahead right at the end of quarter 3, 32-29. North Attleboro able to wrestle the lead back. They've held on to it. And now with a 5-point advantage here. We don't have the exact numbers of timeouts remaining for the two teams here as we come down to these final seconds to answer a quick question from the chat. North Attleboro set to inbound now. Again, the shot clock turned off with 30.7 seconds left. North gets it in cleanly, and Milford has to foul. I believe that was Kernan who had to make the foul, and so unfortunately that'll be the night for Caitlin Kernan. So Kernan will head to the sideline. McKeon shooting the free throws. She misses her first. A 6-point North Attleboro lead, just 25 seconds left to go as players hit the deck. And now the sides will lock up for the jump ball. Possession arrow going Milford's way here. They'll inbound with 21.1 on the clock. Up top to Baglione. Milford doesn't have a lot of time to waste here, and instead that ball comes loose. North Attleboro picks it up. And now at midcourt, Milford finally offers the foul, stopping the clock with 10.6 to go. The final foul of the night now for Olivia Baglione. So a couple of players fouling out here for the Hawks. Baglione as well as Caitlin Kernan. Mary Ellen Charette at the line. Charette makes the second free throw, puts the lead up to 7, and just 10 seconds left for Milford as Ferreira comes up the floor. Will get the pass away. And one final shot. It's put in for Erin Mickelson. And that will finish things up here tonight. A competitive game there for the taking for the Scarlet Hawks, but unfortunately they find themselves on the losing end of a 47-43 final score. So a good effort throughout the second half here for the Scarlet Hawks, but they will come up a little short here tonight. As again, they lose this one by a final score of 47-43. So as we wind things down on the coverage here tonight, with that loss, Milford now will fall overall on the season to now 4-12. North Attleboro, after sweeping the season series against the Scarlet Hawks, will improve to 5-12. And next up on the schedule for the Scarlet Hawks team are the Hopedale Blue Raiders. That game will happen here in the Milford Gym on Thursday night, and we'll be back with live streaming coverage of that game. That is when we'll have you covered next, so we hope you'll join us once again here on the live stream for that coverage Thursday night, getting underway right around 6 p.m. But that's going to wrap things up here for this evening. A big thank you to Patrick Garapi for helping out on the coverage tonight, and I am Tim Coet. That final score, one final time, 47-43. North Attleboro defeats Milford. This has been a presentation of Scarlet Hawks Athletics here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.